Well, hello there. It's me, Dr. Cheryl Fraser. I know I haven't been on here live in a while. In fact, it's been about 4 months, but if I'm on here live, it's because it's a very special time of year. I'm so glad to be here. I am about to kick off for the only time this year, and I will not be teaching for over another year. My free Passion Masterclass. Make sure you register. But I want to kick off with what are the three main reasons couples break up? And this may surprise you because we often think couples break up, divorce. I'm talking about committed couples. You've been together, you intend to stay together, you're looking to the long haul, whatever age or stage you are. But the idea is you think you're pretty much in this for life, and then you're not. A lot of people think it's dramatic. People assume, and it's an intelligent assumption, that couples break up over an affair, that couples break up over really ugly patterns of nasty arguing, that couples break up because it's intolerable in the home. Now, of course, this is a proportion of breakups. I work with a lot of couples who have gone through the pain of an affair, and we do work together to help them move through the pain of the affair to move toward a much better, more solid, more loving, more connected relationship. But the three reasons couples break up, the top reasons, and I'm a couples therapist, sex therapist, author of the book Buddha's Bedroom, legit expert, used to teach university, got accepted to Harvard for my postdoc and all sorts of other things. I do know what I'm talking about. Plus, I've been working with couples in my private practice for 25, 26 years. And for the last 4 years, I've exclusively worked with couples in my 3-month Become Passion program, which is kicking off for the last time in a while in a couple of weeks in the beginning of October. But here's a breakdown of the top 3 reasons couples tend to break up, divorce, etc. The first one is communication issues. And this is the big C word. And you may roll your eyes and say, well, no, we need to communicate. But do you? Do you really? It makes me think of a couple I work with called Jay and Elizabeth, their real names. They've done video testimonial talking about this and given me permission to share this information. They had so much bickering, arguing, ugly fighting, unkind fighting, not understanding each other, not knowing how to make up, not knowing how to reconnect, not being able to communicate reasonably well about the things that are concerning you. It could be your mortgage. It could be something in your relationship. It could be a worry about a family member, illness, etc. But how do you handle difficult topics? Are you good at understanding your partner's point of view? How skillful are you at de-escalating arguments when they start to get nasty? Do you know how to downshift when you're on a roll? Do you have great skill, and I bet most of you do not, at understanding your partner's point of view, at seeing things from their perspective instead of doing what so many of us do? I used to be really guilty of this myself, which is I'm right, you're wrong, I'm the correct one. And my job as a communicator is to make you agree with me. So there are so many aspects to communication, but this is one of the major reasons that couples actually end up breaking up and divorcing. We're talking about couples that have intertwined chosen lives, kids, maybe have been together for 20, 30, 40 years. It's pretty astounding how little attention we pay to the absolute critical importance of learning to communicate better. And we're not taught this. Drives me insane. We're not taught this at school. We're not taught this in our home, most of us. We don't know how to handle our anger when we're triggered. We don't know how to prevent the 4 ugly divorce predictor behaviors when we argue. I can talk more about them in a future live stream. I'll be jumping on here several times a week for the next 3 weeks or so, helping you out. If you've got a question for me, you can put it below where you're watching this now or later in the comments, and I'll address it in an upcoming live. But for now, there are 4 ugly arguing styles. They include defensiveness, refusing to participate at all, kind of shutting it down, or stonewalling, it's sometimes called. They include contempt and criticism. If you struggle with these, and I have struggled with these and occasionally still do struggle with them because I'm a real human being in a real marriage, expert or not, we do the work I teach. This is overall the first reason couples tend to break up. There's some videos below me on this stream. They might be above me, but you can look for them. How to talk about ugly arguing. Look below. They should see a thumbnail, and you can watch a video where I go more deeply into this. But for now, that's one of the biggies. You've got to learn how to communicate more deeply and well. It's really hard. It takes a lot of repetition, a lot of rehearsal, and a lot of support, but it's part of what I teach in my program. Make sure you click below and choose one of the times that I'll be teaching between October 1st and 5th only this year, 2024. I'm taking next year off. I will not be teaching this next week. That's not a gimmick. That's for real. I mean, next year in 2025, I won't be teaching this at all. So this is your last chance to work with me for a while. And this is a free workshop. It's online. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain, where I'll take a much deeper dive into these three areas, what I call the three keys to great relationship. The first one, communication and emotional intimacy, knowing your partner's hopes and dreams, having their back, sharing deeply, lots of trust, having each other as your number one person, deep, rich, foreign communication skills. So join the workshop. I'm teaching them on different days and times. Pacific time, I'm teaching on Tuesday, October 1st at 5 p.m. Pacific, Wednesday, October 2nd at 10 a.m. Pacific, Thursday, October 3rd at 5 p.m. Pacific, and Saturday, October 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific. When you click below and you choose the time that works for you, it will correct it to your own time zone. And join me there. We'll send you a little workbook, few pages long, to get you and your sweetheart thinking about a few questions before you join me live. I teach for about an hour or so. I'll also introduce you to my 3-month program that kicks off in a few weeks. A few of you may choose to join me. I very much hope to see you there. And at the end, I stick around for at least an hour and answer your questions. It's all confidential. It's not on Zoom. You're not on camera. So please join me for the Passion Masterclass, where we'll go much more deeply into these three problematic areas and what you can do to improve them, starting right now. The second main reason couples break up is what I call a lack of thrill. So do you remember how great it was when you were dating? I know that you do. What do you miss the most about dating? As you think about that now, what do you miss the most about falling in love? It was a lot easier, wasn't it? I've asked this question of probably tens of thousands of couples now, and over, the responses I get are, I miss how fascinated we were with each other. I miss how hard we tried to make each other feel special. I miss the sex. I miss the attraction. I miss how much we ate to see each other, how excited we were to plan special events. I miss how it seemed to all come naturally. I miss talking for hours and being really fascinated and getting to know this person. If you're in a longer term relationship, you've been together more than a year and a half, 2 years, I'm going to call that a longer term relationship. How are you doing now? How are you doing now in thrill? How are you doing on feeling lit up by your partner, feeling special, feeling like the most fascinating person in their world? How are you doing as a partner at helping your partner feel lit up and special and like the most important person in your world? Most of us suck at it. I'm going to keep it real. I always do. Most of us are pretty lazy about dating our mate. Most of us were a much better, more compelling partner when we were dating than we are now. I sometimes use this following challenge, and I'm going to use it right now. If you were dating you as you are now, would you keep dating you? What I mean is, how are you doing as a date? Are you being interested? Are you planning fun things? I just got back about a month ago from an incredible 12-day vacation I planned for my sweetheart's birthday, a thrill adventure for his birthday. We went up to northern BC to a wonderful eco lodge called the Fur Vale Lodge. You should go there. And we went grizzly viewing. We took a helicopter ride to a glacier lake. It was unbelievable because this is how we keep our love alive after 11 years. We make it an effort to keep the thrill alive. That's the second main thing couples need to work on, is thrill and interest and cherishing each other. Wouldn't it be wonderful to feel appreciated again? Wouldn't it feel wonderful to know what your partner is grateful for? Wouldn't it feel great to feel the way you used to feel? Now, I'm not unrealistic. This is not some hopped up, silly conversation. I'm keeping it real. We will never feel as excited as we did in the beginning. We simply cannot, because in the beginning, things were new. And novelty is a great aphrodisiac. It's a great director of our attention. When we're falling in love, the biochemistry in our brain mimics the biochemistry of obsessive compulsive disorder. That means we're literally madly in love. We're obsessed. We keep thinking about each other. It's really hard to recreate that. So I don't want you to recreate what you had when you were dating, because I actually teach you things that work. What I want you to do is to learn how to bring a new type of interest, a new type of thrill, a new type of attraction and fun and playfulness into your relationship with the partner you are with after all these years. Been with my guy for my hubby now for over 11 years. Some of you have been together much longer. One of the things I love in the free workshop and in my 3-month program is I get to work with couples just like you, some of whom have been together for 30 or 40 years, who are not giving up, who are unhappy, disconnected, not making love. That's the third reason. And they want to do better and learn more. So the first reason couples break up, communication issues. Seriously, this can lead to the end of you if you don't learn how to handle conflict, to communicate deeply, to know what's going on for each other, and also share your hopes and dreams. The second is what I call marriage incorporated, or marital boredom, or dumbass complacency, where we take each other for granted. We're not making our relationship or our partner a priority, not necessarily by purpose. And it doesn't mean we don't love them and care about them, but couples get so lazy and complacent about bringing fun and excitement and joy and truly enjoying this blessed life we get to live together. The third reason couples break up is sex or lack thereof. Low desire, sexual desire mismatch, changes in sexuality as we age and stage through our various life stages of our relationship, from young to a little less young, to pregnant, to nursing babies, to raising children. There are so many reasons our sexuality can be challenged, and it may surprise you. It sure as heck doesn't surprise me. And when you come to one of those free workshops, I teach them live each time. I'm teaching it 4 different times, as I mentioned. You can click below and choose the time that works best for you and your sweetheart, and I'll see you there. In those workshops, I'll teach you a lot more, and I'll do some anonymous polls. And what you're going to hear, and it surprises everybody but me, and I wish it didn't surprise any of us, because I wish we were talking about this better and more often. 30% to up to 40% of you are not making love at all. This is normal and typical. It's just not talked about. It's not public knowledge. There's some terrible, incorrect research out there that says the average person makes love uh, twice a week with their partner. I wish that was true. It's very much not. Some of these polls are done on college kids, and it isn't really relevant to those of us that are adults in a longer term relationship together more than a few years. So there's a great deal of stress and difficulty and hurt around low or no sex. At least one partner is usually very distressed by this. And yet we aren't taught, I teach it, come to the masterclass, what to do about that. We're not taught that it's normal to make love rarely or not at all. We're not taught that it is something that you can address and do something about. We aren't given these skills. And when I run the world, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon, we'll be taught communication skills in school. We'll be taught about how to work with our mind to keep things interesting and fun. We'll be taught healthy, realistic sexuality at an age-appropriate time and through our lifespan. But these are the top 3 reasons couples break up: communication issues, lack of romance and fun, being in marriage incorporated, being friends but roommates, not having a spark, that sad sentence, I love them, ... but I'm not in love with them anymore. These are some of the reasons. And the third one is issues with sexuality and sensuality. Look, sexuality is a pretty small part of the totality of your romantic relationship, your decades together, if you stick together for decades, but it's a really important part. Most couples don't nurture their sensual life. As I said, 30% or more aren't making love at all, at least with each other. They might have their own solo sexual life, etc. So I'm going to say something a little bit bold, but the state of long-term relationship is pretty grim. I've been doing this for a long time, and over what I hear, and these are based on some polls I'll be giving you in the live masterclass. We'll see what your numbers are. Only 11% of the couples I survey still say they still feel in love with their partner, excited about them, into them. Only 5% say they have a great sex life, and 93% say they struggle with ugly arguing, negative fighting, repeated fighting, and other issues like that. So those are the 3 big areas. Now, I have the antidotes to those, and I don't mean that facetiously. The model I teach, that you'll hear much more about in the free masterclass, click below and choose your time, is the 3 keys to great relationship, where I talk about what I call intimacy, which is the communication and depth and psychological connection part. I talk a lot about thrill, the lack of that fun and spark, and I talk about sensuality. And I give you some actionable skills to help you begin to understand you are normal, understand why you're not as happy and connected as you desire to be and used to be, and get some hope, real grounded hope in science, psychology, sex therapy, communication theory. I'm not someone who took a weekend workshop and is now some relationship coach or something. I'm the real deal. And you'll see that when you come to the free workshop. So I really hope to see you there. Again, I won't be teaching them again for at least a year. I'm going to take a sabbatical next year. And I very much look forward to getting to know you and your spouse. Reminder, it's entirely anonymous and confidential. It's not on Zoom, these workshops. I'm the only one on camera. And you can submit your questions to me at the end confidentially in the chat box where only I see them. And I won't use your names. So can't wait to work with you. Stay tuned. I'll be hopping on here live every other day or so. If you have a question you'd like me to address in one of these live classes, I guess, live encounters, put it below in the chat box and I will answer it in a future upcoming live. I'll be teaching these for the next couple of weeks. It's a very exciting time of year where you get more access to me. And the best way to have access to me is to join that free masterclass coming up between October 1st and October 5th. Click below, choose your time, and I'll see you there. Bye for now.